Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan and this video is going to be the Nykaa Hot Love Sale recommendations. Now, I even contemplated if I should be filming this video because there are other apps and other places that I shop from over Nykaa these days, because I feel like the discounts on those places are so much far better than Nykaa. Okay, so the Cult app, like you install the Cult app, K-U-L-T, Cult app, you literally get most of these products like Huda Beauty, Too Faced and all of that on really good discount, like flat 50. They have a 1,500 rupees off. They have a 2,000 rupees off coupons most of the times, and get most of these products for fraction of the cost. So with that available, I don't find Nykaa's sale to be very competitive. You know, if I was the sales head of Nykaa, I'll be like putting up better sales right now, because I'll be worried. There are so much of competitors out there, and like Huda Beauty is really good for discounts. They are having their 14-day of sale for Valentine's Day, so there's really good discounts again on most products, and also you can use your reward points, you can use coupon codes and all of that. And of course Myntra, Bodis and so far and so forth. So I got like pack brushes for flat 50% off on Myntra, and most of these brushes which I use all the time in really good condition from Myntra. So all of this was like for flat 50% off. I got the powder brush, I got like the flat top kabuki brush, a lot of concealer brushes for flat 50% off. You know what I'm saying? But there are some brands that are exclusive to Nykaa, and there are some products that I would buy from Nykaa. So those are the ones I'm going to be talking about, and some I'm just going to be talking about newer products that I've been super impressed with. So if at all they're available on better discounts here, you can pick it up. Now, I'm not pushing you to buy anything, I'm not asking you to buy anything from anywhere, but if in case you're looking at certain brands, then these are the options available. Like Laura Mercier is available on Huda Beauty, there's Huda Beauty available on Huda Beauty is available on Cult app, and as well as like Too Faced, Smashbox, all of that. So that's the reason, you know, I'm mentioning this. Anyways, let's get started. First up, Charlotte Tilbury. I'm waiting for these other sites to launch Charlotte Tilbury on better discounts so that I can purchase it, because this is a very expensive brand, but most of the products I have tried out from this brand have turned out to be really good for me. I have really liked it. So the first one is the Magic Cream. I really like it. I feel like, yes, it is overpriced. It's of course overpriced for a moisturizer, but so every time I put this on, I feel like my skin looks so nice and hydrated and plump looking. You can easily substitute this moisturizer, but if you're someone who's looking to invest in a high-end moisturizer and you just wanted to try it out, you can definitely test this one out. And then from Charlotte Tilbury, their foundations I think are now available in all of the shades. Now this is a very misunderstood foundation, and that's the reason I thought of including this again, even though I've mentioned this so many times in all of the sales, because a lot of people have tried this foundation out and found it to be very dry, very cakey. But the key to this foundation is less is more. So you pretty much like prep your skin really well, hydrating moisturizer, hydrating primer, and color correction, all of that, followed by this foundation, just one full pump of this, and that's it. And you get really good coverage. And if you wanted to cover something up, say like the pigmentation around your mouth or something on your cheek, then you just use like that one extra squeeze of this particular product, and that's it. You don't go ahead like how you use your other foundations, 2 full pumps, 2.5 pumps. That's not the way you use this particular foundation, and this pairs really well with their Hollywood Flawless filter or without as well. Like if you use a really good moisturizer, you don't really need this particular product. So I've used it both ways, and because a lot of people were finding it very disappointing, I just wanted to give it another try, because it's been a while since I tried this foundation out, and I've been like switching up my foundations. My videos have been foundation, like haul videos have been foundation heavy, because I've bought a lot of new foundations. I still went back to this, especially when I had to go out for an event that day, and I used this foundation, and I still to date love this foundation because it's full coverage, but it doesn't look extremely cakey. If you use it the right way, prep your skin the right way, it's an amazing product, and it covers up pretty much everything on the face with the slightest amount of it. It's thick. If you have very dry skin, maybe you wouldn't like it, but if you have normal combination oily skin type, you have a wedding to attend, you just wanted to photograph well, it will look really good. You can pair it up with the Hollywood Flawless filter. This one or the e.l.f., I'm not sure. See, the e.l.f. one has a little bit more pigment, it has a little bit more of a shine. This one is very, very subtle. It's very thin in terms of the texture as well, so it's really nice for no makeup days. It also doesn't make you look like Tin Man. So this or e.l.f., I would prefer this one any day, but that is of course a fraction of the cost. So if it comes to like, you know, which is more affordable when I empty this out, maybe I'll stick there. No, I still would go ahead and repurchase this because I love this product and it's something I use a lot. so I love the glow it gives as well. These two pair really well. And the Beautiful Skin foundation is not my favorite. I feel like it's a little too thick for my liking. Like it clings onto my skin differently. You have to, it's a little bit of a task to blend this particular product out. Sometimes you have to use a sponge, a mixture of brush and sponge. But I've heard that these two foundations pair really well. So in case this didn't work out for you and you're planning to try this out, maybe mix it up. But don't buy this because this didn't work out for you. And so you still want to try out Charlotte Tilbury foundations, because I think you'll be in for a disappointment with this. But if they are on discount, you can pick it up. And the only place that you can do so is with Nykaa. So that's the reason I started off with Charlotte Tilbury. And then coming to their bronzer, I love this. Look at the giant size of this one. You get 16 grams of product. It's a huge bronzer. This one is their Airbrush bronzer. I have this one in the shade Tan. It's what I have on my face as well. This gives you the most amazing tan bronze, like that bronzed look, without looking too much, without looking muddy, without looking orange, red. It's not like a stamp on your face. It blends in the most beautiful way. And that's the thing that I feel with most Charlotte Tilbury products, is that they're not a task to blend. It just blends away seamlessly. The same thing with this. I keep this in the original packaging because I'm very scared I'll shatter it. It is a giant pan, comes with a huge mirror as well. And it's just a beautiful bronzer. So if you can find this on discount, I think it goes up to 15% off. This one is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. I was like this close to not buying this palette, and then I was like, okay, let me just try it out. You know, if I don't try it out, I would never know. But I love this particular palette. Every single product in this works out so well for me. The blush, the highlighters, it is so good. This one works like a really nice blush topper. It seems like a sheen, right? But it is not shimmery looking on the skin. It just looks beautiful with a nice glow on your face. This palette alone is like worth shopping if you wanted to. If you have a wedding coming up, you're someone who likes to try out high-end makeup, you're investing in it, this wouldn't disappoint you. And the shades actually show up on my skin tone as well. They are a little bit hard pressed in the pan, so that first dip you have to like be a little bit heavy handed, but it doesn't look heavy handed on the face. It doesn't look like, you know, you just painted your face. It doesn't look like that. And then the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I feel like it's a really nice fixing spray. I don't feel like it sets your makeup in place that well, but it kind of like takes away all of that powderiness on your face. So if you have a very like cakey makeup going on, this spray will actually fix it. I got the 100 ml one for around 2,700 rupees, and that's the reason I picked this up, and I love this. The nozzle of this one is not the best, but it's okay. And then these wands that they have, the contour wand is my favorite. I love it. I've used it on my face today. I actually went a little heavy-handed with the contour and I didn't know what to do, but again, it's so easy and seamless to blend. But I don't think you would have a lot of shade options in this one. This one is said to be fair to medium, which would work for people up to medium tan skin tones, not anywhere deeper than that. And a little goes a long way with this particular product. You also don't get a lot of products, so yeah, be careful with this one. Sometimes it might break your heart because you'll end up using it a lot faster. This Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlighter Illuminator, this one in the shade medium. I feel like you can skip on this one. The glow is very natural. It's something you can use on your no makeup days, your day-to-day basis, but it's just very, very subtle. And maybe there are other brands that have duped this one, so you can probably skip on this, or like buy that, or you can instead buy the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand Highlight High Blush. So it's like a highlighter come blush, so it has that sheen and it also has that blush effect. So it has like that subtle pink tone. It works really nice as a blush topper, as a highlighter. So I have this one in the shade Pink Gasm, and it has this kind of like a little bit of a radiance to it as well. Not something that's too shimmery, not chunky. Works really well and subtle. And then they have their Matte Beauty blush wand. I have this one in the shade Pillow Talk Dream Pop. It's a bright, like bright red shade. I like this. It is nice and matte. It's not too matte, not clinging, and it's also something that I can blend pretty well. So yeah, the products I've tried out so far, so good. And then their pressed powder is really nice if you wanted to try out. That is a cult favorite as well. Then their lip blur, I don't really like the shade Pillow Talk Medium. I feel like it's a little bit too lilac for my liking. Like on my skin tone, like when I swatch it on the hand, it looks like a nice rosy shade, but on my lips it pulls so lilac. I don't like it. It's not pigmented enough to be worn on its own. It's a nice lip topper. Like if you have some lipstick and you feel like it's looking really flaky and dry, you can just top it off. And then the lipsticks, I do really like some of the shades, okay, because Pillow Talk Medium was so disappointing, but I have the shade So 90s, which is almost always sold out. It's a nice brown with a lot of mauve hints to it. This is how I wanted Pillow Talk Medium to look on my skin tone, and I got that in the shade So 90s. So this is my like go-to lipstick. It's always in my makeup drawer, like my everyday makeup drawer, because I reach out for this one so much. So if you can find this one in stock, pick this one up. They also have other shades called First Dance, Mrs. Kisses, MI Kiss, beautiful shades. And then moving on to Pat McGrath, again a brand that is exclusive to Nykaa. So you can try out their eyeshadow palettes if you have the budget, because I think it's going on flat 30% off, and you would pretty much like get a good deal on it. I do own 2 of their eyeshadow palettes, which I have in these drawers right here, but I haven't used it as much. Like I find them to be a little bit heavy and a little too fragile for me to even take it out and use it just like that. But I feel like, yeah, they are really good quality. They look really nice on the eyes, but yeah, they are really expensive. And then another product from Pat McGrath that you could probably try out is their foundation. This one is the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Foundation. Where is that? This one is a really nice foundation. It has a little bit of like a runny consistency. I feel like this shade is a little bit too warm looking on my skin for my winter times, but during the summertime it matches my skin tone pretty well. And it is like sort of light medium to medium coverage, and I would like to keep it like that because it's like a very skin like foundation. I wouldn't like to build this one up too much. I have this one in the shade M15. And then the concealer is one of my absolute favorite concealer. I repurchased this in my shade. I had the shade that was a little too deep, so I got the shade M15 that is really nice for me even without color correction. So this works really nicely underneath my eyes. It's a very nice thick creamy concealer, blends beautifully, seamlessly. It doesn't crease as much, doesn't cake, doesn't dry my under eye area out, and I can also go ahead without setting this. But these days I have started to again set my concealers because I feel like they're all moving away, and that's the point of it. You need to set it. And you can try out their lipsticks, but I feel like they're just like any other nice creamy lipstick, so I would skip on it. I do have a couple of the shades from that lipstick range, but that's because I try to find dupes. I like to swatch it. I try to test it out as much as I can, so if I have to recommend it or not, but I wouldn't like personally purchase it if I was not a makeup YouTuber. Also from Pat McGrath, their Divine blushes. I have this one in the shade Blush. I have this one in the shade Lovestruck, which is a beautiful pink shade, and it's very pigmented. It has a little bit of a kickback, as you guys can see from the pan, but it's really nice and pigmented. It looks beautiful on the skin, and something that would work on people with deeper skin tones as well. And then moving on to Nudesticks. If you had to pick up one product from Nudesticks, you have to try out their tinted cover foundation. This foundation, it's like a tinted moisturizer but with better coverage. It gives you about like medium coverage. It makes your skin look so put together. Like if you're someone who feels like, you know, every single time your makeup looks shabby and you want that clean girl aesthetic, you want your makeup to look really nice and put together, try this one out. I have this one in the shade 06, which is a tad bit too dark for my skin tone. I feel like I could go down a shade. But because it's not the most pigmented foundation, I can still pull this one off. It's really nice. Every single time it is on the skin, like I get compliments like, you know, your foundation just looks so seamless. What is that makeup you have? You look so put together. That's the kind of compliment this foundation would fetch you. If it's anywhere like more than 2,400 or 200, I don't think you should buy it, because you get that on flat 40% off most of the times. And apart from that, the lip crayon, blush and all of that, you can try it out. It's not something that I really enjoy using, because I have these Kiro blushes that, you know, almost mimic that same consistency, like their matte blushes. I have this one in 3 shades: Pink Chiffon, Apricot Crush, and Vintage Rose. Vintage Rose is what I have on my face right now. It's a beautiful shade of blush. Like, it perfectly works for people of deeper skin tone as well, and it's very blendable. It's not extremely dewy, it's not extremely matte, not drying, so it's in a really nice formulation. There are a couple of launches from Kiro that I want to include. Their lip oil, if at all it's available on discount, you can try it out. It's a color changing lip oil, like it adapts to the pH of your lip, so you get a stark pink tint if you're okay with that. It's a little bit brighter, not very subtle, but it looks really nice on the lips. It's not super hydrating if you're looking for that. For that, I have my LA Girl lip stain. I feel like there's nothing that beats the hydration that LA Girl lip stain gives. It gives a beautiful stain, very long lasting and very hydrating on the lips as well. So if that is available on discount, pick it up. I don't have it right here. It's in my everyday makeup drawer because that's something I use every single day. Pick that up. But if you wanted a lip oil, like a color changing lip oil, you would love this. You can also use this on your cheek. I do use this quite a lot, okay? And then from Kiro, of course, their foundation. This is a really nice foundation that gives you again that same finish, sort of like the Nudesticks foundation, but a little bit more coverage. Again, just like one squeeze, one pump of this gives you pretty high coverage, medium coverage for a serum foundation. That is really good, and it looks very seamless on the skin. Just that the shades are a little too warm. Like I have the shade 03 Almond Beige, which I feel like looks a little too orange on my skin tone. I'm not sure if the shade lower would be better, or the shade higher than this has a neutral undertone. I'm not sure, but this one is a little too stark on my skin. But the finish, the coverage and everything is amazing. The wear time is amazing. You can blend it with your brush or your fingers. So that's everything I wanted to talk to you guys about from Kiro, because I've talked about their liquid lipsticks, their lipsticks so many times that I don't want to keep repeating it. Okay, and then from MAC, MAC and everything I would ideally pick up from any other place like Cult App or Tira or Myntra, opposed to Nykaa. But if you are able to find it on good discount and you only trust like Nykaa, you can try out their Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. This is extremely dewy, so if you have a lot of texture, acne, you know, like sort of like larger pores, you would want to stay away from this because it accentuates everything. It's extremely dewy, so it actually does like make everything appear a lot more prominent. If you don't mind all of that being a little more like prominent, you can try this out. Or you wanted to use this as a base for your other products, you can do that. It has the subtle amount of like a light tint, so you can use this underneath your other more coverage products like a foundation, like I did so today. So on top of that skin tint, I used this Clinique foundation, which is going on buy two get one free, and also sometimes flat 15 to 20% off. But I got this from the Cult App for like a good discount of 1,500 I think on the MRP, or on the like there was a discount and then I got a further discount. That's the reason I picked it up. So this is the Clinique Even Better Serum Foundation. I have this one in the shade Honey Wheat, which is not my shade, unfortunately. It's like a little too dark. Even for my summer shade, I feel like it's a little too dark, but I used the tiniest amount of it on my face right here, and it's a really nice like serum kind of a foundation without exaggerating anything. It doesn't emphasize anything, sits really well on the skin, very long wearing, and also right now the room is quite hot, okay, and it's not letting anything seep through. So if you have combination oily skin type, you would love it. Normal skin, I think you would still love it. I'm not sure if you like it if you have dry skin, because a lot of people with dry skin had reviewed that this is very drying on the skin, but I don't find it to be very drying at all. And with Clinique, you also get their Even Better concealer, like this combo. This is the concealer I have underneath my eyes. I like it. It's a lightweight concealer. It can be a little bit cakey for you if you have very dry under eye area, so keep that in mind. But it's really nice, blendable, and it's a nice everyday concealer. But if you have the K Beauty concealer, I feel like this one is very similar to that. Speaking of K Beauty, I actually want to pick up their lip stain. I'm like very intrigued with their lip stain. And then from Clinique, you can pick up their Black Honey lip gloss, which is a really nice lip gloss as opposed to the Almost lipstick. I didn't really like the Almost lipstick, but I loved the lip gloss. It's something I use on a day-to-day basis, like every single time I'm getting ready and all of that. If I want like a tint on my lips, it has a pretty actually beautiful tint and a nice glossy effect. So this is what it looks like. It looks really nice, and I think it is again flattering on most skin tones. So this lip gloss is amazing if you want to try it out from Clinique. And then moving on to e.l.f. Unfortunately, like from the preview I saw, there's no buy one get one on e.l.f. Why would you do that? Because Nykaa has exclusive e.l.f. products, and most of the times they have buy one get one, and that's the reason I thought of buying a couple of products. But if there's no buy one get one, I'm not buying that. So you can pick up the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is one of the best, absolute best primers I have tried out. It's my go-to primer these days. It is hydrating, it is long-lasting, it just grips onto your makeup, it doesn't cling on to anything, and it's not too tacky where your makeup skips, so like just looks cakey. Beautiful. You can also from e.l.f. try out their foundation if you like. This one is their Flawless Satin Foundation. It also has a very light serum-like texture. It's a very lightweight foundation, almost like a tinted moisturizer, but slightly better coverage, like light medium to medium coverage. Really good. You can try out the e.l.f. CC cream, Camo CC cream. Where is that? I had it right here. I think I'm falling sick. e.l.f. Camo CC cream. This is a really nice product. It's more matte, okay, and it's almost like full coverage. So if you wanted to try out the It Cosmetics CC cream, you can try that out. And then from Urban Decay has a 15% off. I'm not a big fan of their eyeshadow palettes, okay? I don't find them to be pigmented enough. I don't really like the shimmer shades. I don't feel like they pack a punch. But I got this all-nighter makeup setting spray, which I feel like... which I feel like is a really nice setting spray. It keeps your makeup in place, and if you're someone who's like getting ready, you wanted your makeup to stay in place, you don't want it to move around. If you want to like just fix your makeup in place, I think this is the setting spray you should go for. It has a slight fragrance to it, like sort of like the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, a little bit like a floral waxy kind of a scent, but nothing that is too overpowering, so I like that. Okay, I was talking about MAC, right? I just skipped all of a sudden. The Studio Fix Cream to Powder Foundation, one of my absolute favorite. This is in the shade NC35. It goes on so beautifully on the skin, and like it has like that, like, you know, sort of like a powdery finish on the skin, but not that is looking like powder, you know, not something that is looking like powder, not something that is exaggerating anything, not very bad looking. It's something that looks like my second skin. I feel like it works really well for my everyday makeup, and I don't really even set this one. And also, if you have dry skin, I think you could stay away from this, but I really like this particular product. It's a really nice on the go kind of a product. And then from MAC, I also have their Powder Kiss liquid lipstick. So if you have to pick up something from MAC, you have to pick up their Powder Kiss liquid lipsticks. I have so many shades of this one, over the top, more the merrier, make it fashion, make love to the camera, burnt love, whatever. I have a lot of shades, but of late I've been loving these Locked Kiss ink liquid lipsticks. These go on matte. Okay, they settle down completely matte. They're pigmented, but they are so comfortable. It feels like you don't have anything on your lips. They feel so nice and lightweight. It's truly one of a kind of like that kind of a formulation. I have this one in the shade Meticulous, which I did wear the other day and I loved it. Okay, it's a beautiful sort of like a terracotta nude kind of a shade for me. I loved it. And then moving on to Huda Beauty. There are a couple of Huda Beauty products that are of newer launches, but I'm not sure if this is going on discount, but most of them I picked it up on Tira and on Cult, because I could find it on discount there, and which you don't get it on Nykaa. Nykaa is like waiting for it to go, like, you know, out of fashion, for it to come into like the discount category. But I want to try out these products when they're launched, you know, along with other people. So I don't want to pay full price for it. I would like to have the newer launches on discount too. No, is that too much to ask for? So I recently tried out this pretty grunge palette, and this is what I have on my eyes right now. I got this from Nykaa itself for 40% off. I don't know what happened to them, but this palette alone from that collection was on 40% off. Do I think this is worth it? I'm not sure. See, if you're someone who likes these kind of like cool toned eye looks, I think you can try it out. But I feel like there's only so much I can do with this particular palette. And sometimes it can tend to look a little too cool toned and muddy on my skin tone. So I'm not someone who would like use it to its fullest, in my opinion. I did get it to see how it is and if I can, you know, pull off some looks with this. It's what I have on my eyes. I like how it looks, and some of the shimmer shades are good. Some are not like that, you know, they don't pack that much of a punch. Like this shade called Haphazard, which is a duochrome shade. I feel like the Mass duochrome eyeshadow is so much more better than this. So it's an okay palette in my opinion. I, however, would suggest the Naughty Nude or the Empowered eyeshadow palette, which is more warm tone, which is something that you can use for a lot of different occasions, and not a lot of people even like choose cool toned outfits, in my opinion. So if you are getting ready for a festive look or for like a wedding or for something else, I think this warm toned eyeshadow palette is where you would reach out the most for. And then the Naughty Nude, it's more like rosy toned. Then also from Huda Beauty, apart from their loose powders, which is something I use so much, their Easy Bake loose powder. I have this one in the shade Banana and Cherry Blossom. I also got their Easy Bake Bake and Snatch pressed powder. This is something I also use a lot. This is in the shade Banana Bread. It's so nice to set underneath your eyes, but I still prefer the loose powder over this. I feel like this is more also like a finishing powder, like a finishing touch to lift everything up, to get that snatched look. Another brand of eyeshadow palette you should try out if it is available on discount is Prosh Showstopper eyeshadow palette. This will blow your mind away for the color selection that it has and the amount of looks you can create with this. The matte shades blend so beautifully. The shimmer shades have that right amount of sheen, and sometimes the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes over time will dry out like the shimmer shades, but this one doesn't do that. so you can try that out. And from Huda Beauty you also have the 4 filter foundation. I got this for around 1700 rupees, so this might not be the right discount to buy this. You can get it like as low as 40%, 50% off sometimes, so wait for the right kind of discount. I got this one in the shade Amarati, which is a decent match for me, but it is a little bit too yellow tone. Like the shade is okay, but the undertone is a little too yellow. And then from Huda Beauty, I also picked up their 4 filter corrector in the shade Peach. This one I got from Huda Beauty for around 1800 rupees. And I feel like this corrector is not working for my under eye area. I feel like it's just sucking out the moisture. It's like literally I can see my concealer flaking. Like this side I have another corrector and concealer, and that is looking so much more better than the other side. I'll test it out a lot more and then update you guys, but so far just hold on. And the Huda Beauty 4 filter concealer is a beautiful concealer you can try out. Something I use almost again on an everyday basis. And then Huda Beauty lipsticks. The bullet lipsticks are I think on flat 50% off. I got this one from Cult. Okay, some of these I got from Nykaa, some of them I've got it from Cult app for 900 rupees. This on Nykaa is also pretty good. I have this shade called Game Night right now on my lips, which is a beautiful like mauve toned brown shade, cool toned brown. I really like that. It's nice and pigmented, very soft on the lips. And then an affordable brand you should try out the eyeshadow palette is the Swiss Beauty eyeshadow quads. I'm not sure if it's available on Nykaa because the last time I checked it was all out of stock, but the sheen on this is so beautiful. It doesn't even look like an affordable eyeshadow palette. Like look at that. So good, right? So this quad is something you should try out from Swiss Beauty. And from Swiss Beauty I particularly kept these aside. I'm not sure if it's available on Nykaa, especially on discount, and I messed it up. So this one is their Tint Me On lip balm, and this is a tinted lip balm. I have this one in the shade 02. This is the most pigmented tinted lip balm ever, and they look so good on the lips. They feel like high-end products, so definitely do check that out. And I also have the shade 01, which is also really nice, brown toned tinted lip balm. See? Why Clinique Black Honey and all when you have all these beautiful tinted lip balms for affordable prices. And I also picked up the Insight Pro Ultimate HD Longwear Concealer. This one is a color corrector in the shade medium, and this is an amazing color corrector. It puts the Huda Beauty color corrector to shame actually. It's also a little bit like peach tone. Works really well for my skin tone. It blends seamlessly. It doesn't dry my under eye area or doesn't like make it look like it's like sucked the moisture out. So definitely do look into that. And then a new brand that I tried out, this one is the Faye Lip Whip. I have this in 3 shades actually. This one is Nut, this one is Buns, and Safe Word. No, Stroke, dark brown shade. The shade in Nut is my absolute favorite. It's like right up my alley. It's a nice comfortable matte liquid lipstick formulation. I like it. It doesn't like dry my lips out too much. It is a tad bit slightly dry, but nothing too much. And then from Rimmel, check out these pressed powders. This one is a transparent variant which I recently got. It's a really nice pressed powder, especially if you have like oil seeping through. You want to set it in place. This one does such a beautiful job. It like looks seamless, fine, you know. The powder is so nice. It's not cakey at all, and it's just so affordable. I also had this shade called Cashmere, which is little too pink tone, and now all these pink powders are in trend, right? So I think this will be a really nice brightening kind of like a shade if I can try it out right now. This was a little bit of an older product. So that's pretty much all of my recommendations. Those were all the products I want to talk to you guys about. Let me know what you think about these products. Let me know what you think about the sale if you're planning to shop. If you're not planning to shop as well, let me know in the comments down below, because there's no pressure. You don't have to buy everything that's on sale. If you don't need it, don't buy it. So let me know in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.